What's up, everyone? Let's get into it. Hopefully, I don't have too much going on my screen, that it's all glitchy. There we go. I think it's clear. Yeah, cool. If it's glitchy, someone just leave a comment. Oh, hang on. Now I remembered. This is what I was doing wrong. Public. So weird. There we go. Now I'm public. I don't know why. My Facebook settings was like making it only private to myself. As much as I love watching my own live streams, I don't I don't want to share this one with myself. So, what's up, everyone? Welcome. This is a topic for anyone who has ever at any point felt stuck, like you're not clear on how to move forward. You maybe don't feel like you're moving forward, or in any type of way, you're just not happy with your life. This is an important one, so listen up. I actually did not take any notes. I didn't do anything. I just know that this is the Self-Perfected Video Challenge, and I'm dedicated to doing all of them because our group is amazing, and I want to give. I give as I would like to receive. So this is the truth about feeling stuck, y'all. One, if you are feeling stuck, that's irrelevant. If you're actually stuck, that's what matters. Because there's a difference between your feelings and reality. You can feel like you're the Queen of England, and in reality, you're just living in your mom's basement, right? You can feel stuck, but in reality, you're actually making progress, or vice versa. You can feel like you're moving a million miles an hour, but you're not actually doing shit. And so, don't worry about your feelings. Jess and I just made a video called "Fuck Your Feelings," and it was great. And we've had people. I just actually reposted something from Beverly. We saw her earlier today, and she made a post. She's amazing. She made a post. She's like, "Fuck my feelings. I went outside and I walked up a steep hill today, and it was gloomy," because that kind of character, being willing to do that, then it's like you can handle anything. And so, if you feel stuck, again, that's irrelevant. What matters is, are you actually clear on what it looks like to make real progress? Because if you're stuck, that means, like, technically you're stuck in a place relative to another place. And so, if you're clear on the place that you want to get to, like a goal, you got to have an actual, real, tangible, measurable way of tracking, like, are you getting there? I realize that that probably sounds boring to a lot of you, but that's probably why you feel stuck and you feel shitty a lot of the time, is because you don't like to practically look at reality. So here's a practical look at reality. Let's say you want to hit a goal. Let's say you want to grow your business and you run a company where you sell a product, okay? But you feel kind of stuck because you're not, it just doesn't feel good, or maybe you haven't got a sale in a while or something like that, okay? Well, if you feel stuck, first, it's fucking irrelevant. Second, this is what you actually do. You set up a real goal of what you want, and then you reverse engineer that goal. So let's say you want to make 5 sales of your product. Well, if you've never made 5 sales, I would suggest you start with a smaller goal, maybe 1 sale. Straight up, swallow your ego, swallow your pride, and just go for 1 sale. Then, in that process, you're going to have to learn how to break down the step by steps of what you actually have to do to get that result. Okay, so there's this fascinating thing where we're like, I want to make sales, I want to make money, right? We all want to make money, right? But in reality, that will keep you broke if you just stay focused on money. Wait, what? How does that make any sense? If you want money, shouldn't you focus on money? No, that's what broke people do. If you want to make money, you have to focus on a business and a structure and a system that results in money, that spits out money. Okay? So if you're the kind of person, let's say for this example, you want to make your 5 sales or your 1 sale. Well, you got to break that down into actual practical stuff to do. Like, you have to talk to people, you have to present people your product. And if you have a shitty product, then good luck, you're screwed. Okay? But if you have something that is of value, then it's going to be a process of you to actually go do those things. But when you can break it down as simple as that, is like, hey, if I just talk to 10 people a day, eventually someone will buy. That's then the thing you do. And then who cares if you feel stuck or not stuck? Did you talk to 10 people that day? It's black or white. It's that freaking clear. It's just we live in a world where people were not effectively educated, so we can't even reason something as simple as how do I break down a goal into simple steps. So if you're feeling stuck, this is the truth. Your feelings are irrelevant about it, and you may actually be stuck. Physically, in reality, you're stuck and you're not moving toward your goal, but then that just becomes a simple thing of looking at what are the actions that you need to take. And if you feel really shitty, you're probably not going to be inspired to take action. And that's like a whole trap within itself. We can get into that. But now I'm going to push you on this point too. If you're just moving forward for the sake of moving forward, because you want to feel productive or confident or progressive or whatever that is, right? And you don't want to be stuck. You want to keep moving. But if you're not actually clear on where you're moving overall with your life, then what the fuck are you doing? Well, you just probably haven't thought about it. So let's break this down, right? What you'll see in my videos, and this is what I'm about, self-perfected video challenge, right? I'm into self-perfection. What that means is developing yourself to the point where even though you face fears, and even if you don't feel good, you still do the thing anyway. Self-perfection is becoming as faultless as possible so you can trust yourself to always do the best thing. It's awesome when you can really do that and take that on for yourself. And you'll build something, you'll build a few things: self-trust, self-responsibility, self-honesty. You'll be able to practice self-forgiveness, and these things are liberating. Now, ultimately, what we're all here to really do is wake the fuck up to the reality that we're all interconnected. And not in some like hippie way of like, oh, we're like all consciousness or some shit like that. No, I'm saying that look at Earth. We're all made out of the same earth. Like, look at a body. It's all made out of cells and tissues. But right now we're walking around where we're like, oh, I'm like a hand, and I don't give a fuck that my eye isn't working so well because my hand is good. Or it's like you have a heart, and it's like, well, my liver's like about to die out, but whatever, I'm just going to keep doing my heart thing. It's like, no, it's interconnected in that we're all our own individual things, but we're equal in the sense of we have equal value as humans. And so what I encourage you to look at for yourself is, do you really just give a fuck about yourself? Or are you here to actually look for solutions that would be best for everybody? Which also means best for you. Because every time you do something that's not best, it has a consequence. And that consequence will come back around and hit you. And you may not even notice it in your lifetime. But I guarantee at the end of your life, and you start realizing, holy shit, I had all this time, this gift of a life, and I didn't do anything with it. Well, what if this life here is a test to see if you actually give a fuck? If you only spend your time just chasing stuff for the sake of, it's basically you're just chasing energy. That's what happens with us. We're like hardcore addicted to just chasing energy and feeling good, avoiding feeling bad. We want to make money. We're addicted to drama. We want to watch TV shows. We want to be stimulated. And those things in themselves aren't inherently bad per se. If it causes harm to others, yes, it is bad and it's unacceptable. Like, for example, someone who's into like, you could just say certain things that are just unacceptable, like pedophilia, for example. Completely unacceptable. You're taking away the innocence of a child. Now, if two adults are in an agreement and they want to have whatever type of relationship, as long as it doesn't actually harm others, that's cool. But there are certain things that are unacceptable. Okay? Now, that type of thinking and understanding that there are certain principles worth standing for, that is what really fucking matters. Because if you don't have principles and you don't stand for anything, as the old cliche goes, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything, right? Now bring that into this point about being stuck in you want to feel unstuck or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter if you're not actually doing something with your life that actually matters, that's going to produce an outcome that's actually best for everybody. Because you have the ability to actually dedicate your life to something greater than yourself and support a real change in the world. Now, the other day I made a post about like why do people have kids? And it's fascinating to see people's responses. Um, and someone said it was like to evolve. And then I challenged him. I said, well, then why haven't we evolved? And a bunch of people jumped on with their smart comments of, oh, well, we have technology and all this stuff. Okay, sure. Why the fuck do the majority of humans on this planet still suffer? We still don't have basic needs met for everybody. We still don't actually fundamentally care about our fellow human being. So from my perspective, we haven't evolved. Real evolution takes place through education, real education of understanding principles, understanding how to effectively live, how to create practical solutions, how to use common sense and reasoning, and apply yourself to stuff that truly supports people. Because at some point, this is what I'm dedicated to, is we have a world where we have enough people who are effectively educated, who have a high enough vocabulary, ability to process information, and can take on the problems of the world so we can create real solutions that are best for everyone. For example, creating, and you know how like Amazon Prime has 2-day delivery everywhere, at least in the US, I'm sure in other countries too. What if we had that system, but we could use that system to guarantee that every child in the world has food, has basic nutrition, has clothes, has a laptop so they can actually learn, has books, like those level of solutions, or the fact that the ocean is full of plastic and species are dying off and we're polluting the fuck out of the world. Like that level of solutions for the world, that's stuff that really matters. So next time you're asking yourself, I feel kind of stuck and I'm kind of frustrated, ask yourself, do you even have a purpose in your life? Like a big purpose. Now I'm going to challenge you to say, the purpose of your life is to do what is best for all and to create solutions with us, because we have a whole group doing this. That's the real purpose of your life. Now, you may not see that. I don't know why this shit isn't taught in schools. This should be taught to us from day one, and it will be, as you see Jess and I have kids, as you see Cameron and Katie's kids. There's a whole group of us that are doing this. This is self-perfected. This is why we do the video challenge, because there will be people who see this who will DM me, and they'll say, hey, that's kind of cool. What's this about? Right now, it's still the vast minority of the world that can even process this type of information. But isn't now the time to actually step the fuck up and change? Do you not see the state of the world? It's like so polarized. It's like Democrat, Republican, or whatever country you're in. You know, you have the conservative, the liberals. You have the mask wearers and the non-mask wearers, the vaccine people and the non-vaccine people. We have an extreme division right now. And the only solution is to find the middle ground that's actually best. So you take the best of the liberals and the best of the conservatives, or the best of whatever approach it is. And we find the best. And then that's what we move forward with. And we can come to agreement on that. And it's not to say that everyone's going to always agree perfectly on everything. But it's looking at certain things that are principles that we can agree on, such as give as you would like to receive. Okay, is it acceptable right now that there are people in this world that, like every single day, 20,000 kids still die from preventable causes? Is that acceptable? Because there's like a whole group of like religious type people that'll just say some bullshit that's like, well, that's just God's plan and whatever. No, that's you being a fucking asshole who doesn't even know what you're talking about. Because what would God really do? God would step the fuck up and actually change the system here. What if that's what you're supposed to do in your lifetime? Is to wake up and realize, wait, this is messed up. That like so many people in the world don't even have basic needs met. Let's do something about that. Now I realize in order to get to that level of thinking and being able to look at higher purpose type stuff, you got to have your own basic needs met. So I acknowledge that. Like, a lot of people might be in a shitty relationship right now, or you have to work 2 jobs just to pay the bills. So I acknowledge people are coming from all different areas watching the content that I make. But either way, it's your responsibility to take on this message for yourself and at least reach out or connect. Because who are you? Ask yourself, who am I? Are you the kind of person that can hear this message and just go on with your life? And like, oh, well, I'll be good. Maybe I'll die one day and I'll just go to heaven. It'll be better than here. Like, if that's your line of thinking, you're in for a rude awakening. Now, for those of you who can really hear this and you realize, wait, maybe there is like a bigger purpose with my life. And it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice all your stuff. It doesn't mean you have to totally let go of everything in your life. It might mean that. You're going to have to discern that for yourself within self-honesty. But I'm here to stand as a living example of what it actually looks like to do what's best in every moment. And there are times where I trip and I fall. I'm still learning. But that's where self-forgiveness is applied. I breathe. I look at what I did, where I fucked up, apply the correction, and then live the change. And sometimes it doesn't feel good. And sometimes I feel stuck. But then I remember practically what do I need to do to actually move everything forward to create this real change. And you'll see it in my other videos, and I talk about this all the time, but what that real change looked like is giving every single child and adult in the world the best possible education. So we're all equally educated. Not at the lowest level, like what's happening right now in America, where they're dumbing down all the tests and people are getting more stupid. And now we're in a position where kids who, one, weren't even learning in school, reading rates are at an all-time low. Look at the research. There's one called Sound the Alarm, National Reading Emergency, where reading levels are at the same that they were in the early 90s. Well, that's fucked. Now these kids who are in school, now they end up going home and they're supposed to learn on Zoom. One, some of these kids don't even have Wi-Fi at home. Two, the kids weren't learning in the room. Why would they ever, like, it doesn't make any sense, and it's very clearly broken. And if you can't see that, this is your wake-up call. Now we have a solution to this. It's called TechnoTutor, and it works. And it has everything you need in the school system, and it takes it to the knowing part of the brain. Watch what Max and Seneca are doing. They're 4 and 2 years old. Max is teaching me chess moves. Okay, he's showing me how he's programming computers. Like straight up, he'll like come over with his laptop. He's like, look, Mitch, this is what I did. And he'll like spin the thing and he's explaining the coding. And he's 4. Okay, Bill Gates, the guy who's one of the richest, most successful people, he wasn't programming computers till he was like 11. So, but what I'm saying is that level of education that Max is getting and the support from his family, that's what's going to be commonplace. And you'll see me and Jess do it. You'll see Asif and Mailat, Kian and Muge, all these other couples that are part of our group, self-perfected, doing this so that it becomes more commonplace. Because if one person can influence 10 people around them, and those 10 people influence 10 more, and then 10 more, we're not that far away from 10 million or 100 million people. But it takes each of us taking responsibility for ourselves, realizing that we're an individual and no one can take responsibility for us. Not God, not Jesus, not Buddha, not Muhammad, not whoever you think is better than you or more superior. You get to be the authority. Or you get to abdicate that responsibility to something outside yourself, and then you get to watch the world go to shit because you weren't willing to do anything about it. So that's what I'm about. And in terms of not getting stuck, it's about you looking practically at what you need to do, but within the context of doing what's best for all. And if you just watch this whole video, it's too late for you. You've been red-pilled. You can't unhear this. And you may walk around in your life and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to like go back to my job and I'm going to like go do my thing and whatever. Like Mitch is just doing that thing. Oh, I love it when people reach out to me and they go, it's so cool what you guys are doing in Self-Perfected. It's so cool what you guys have got going on. It's like, you missed the fucking point. It's not about us. It's about all of us. Not just me and the other people who help facilitate the group. It's about all of us. So stop trying to be so fucking special. And so, I can't do that. Because when you're just playing this inferiority, superiority game instead of the equality that we're really about. Then you can join us, you can work with us, because within the context of everything that's going on, like I said, you've been red-pilled. Now you know The world is fucked, but there's solutions. Educate all the kids, give them the best education possible, then use that money to do things where you actually change the system on a systemic level. How do you really influence change? The laws. Laws influence billions of people's lives. That's what this is about. So that by the time Max and Seneca and these younger kids are of age 18, they're going to be able to see the common sense of what we're saying. And so that's how we're really going to usher in change. So I have more announcements coming over the months and over 2021 of what my specific role in that is. So you can see from my perspective how I'm taking responsibility more and more over time. And that's why I don't really feel stuck. I just move. But I do that within the context because I'm very clear on my principles, and every day I have specific things that I do. So I use TechnoTutor every day. I write self-forgiveness every day because there's a lot of shit that happened in my life, in everyone's life. I was not raised effectively, and I had parents that did their best and they meant well, but no one knows how to raise a kid except Cameron and Katie and a few other parents within TechnoTutor that I've seen. In terms of raising a kid, I mean a stable kid where you never snap at your kid, you don't use reward or punishment, you just explain. You build a vocabulary, you homeschool them, and you take responsibility for their education and what they do. That's parenting like I've never seen before, and that's what I'm taking responsibility for. So I covered a lot in this video, and this is about understanding that there are real solutions that are here for the fucked up world that we live in. And as long as I'm still allowed to be on Facebook, what if this becomes so controversial? I love it. Some of the stuff we talk about, like best for all and like real practical living solutions, and people are like, they freak out and they're like, what is that? Like, how could you? Like who are you to be the authority? And it's like people just reacting instead of actually looking at the message for itself, taking it on for themselves, because some people don't want to change because they're content and they accept the system as it is. But the current system that you're accepting that it is the same one that's killing 20,000 kids a day, where there's child sex trafficking, all the fucked up shit happening. So if you're accepting that system, you're accepting evil, and that is unacceptable. So let's hear. We're not here to save the system. We're here to change the system and create a new system. So that's what we're about. And every day when I look at myself, and if I ever feel stuck, I just look practically at what I have to actually do so I know that I'm not stuck, and then I just keep moving. And so I feel productive, I feel like I'm accomplishing things, I feel like I'm achieving, and it's great. It's successful, right? If you actually look up the definition of success and understand what that means, it's being successful. But you can be successful at being stupid. You can be successful at wasting your time, if you really understand what that word means. So what I'm here to implore you to do is be successful at doing what is best for all as much as possible, all the time, in every way. That's what's worthwhile. That is how you never get stuck. Because the truth of feeling stuck is that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you don't have purpose, and the answer to that is you have a very clear purpose within the context of what's best for all, and then you apply yourself. In that process, you'll have more fun than ever, you'll make a bunch of money, you'll have cool friends, network, you'll have the most fulfilling relationships. It's amazing, because in order to change the system, you have to make a lot of money. You have to live a life that's awesome. And so that's what this is about. All right, everyone. If you got benefit from this, share it. I challenge you to share this. Leave a comment, like it. Check out my YouTube. You can go on my page, my Facebook profile, and in the bio, I have a little bit.ly link. It's like bit.ly/watchmitch. Check out my YouTube. I got a bunch more on this, explaining this in depth. And there's a lot more to come. So signing off for the night. Bye, everybody.